Hi there. In the last episode, we talked about the solo founders, and this time let's look into the perception and reality of the multiple co-founders. First things first, when you have multiple co-founders, there are some things that are actually working in your favor, right? The first thing is you're able to convince somebody to join your mission. That is super important. You have help to strategize and execute what you want to do. Those are two very important help that you have it in your favor. Third, you're actually building a perception both for your customers as well as the investors that the team can execute. Now let's talk about the reality. Not all co-founders are equal, and it will come as a bittersweet at some point of time. For all the practical purposes, you may have started as saying that, hey, we have 3, 4, 5 co-founders and then everybody is equal. But as the time comes and when you're executing the startup, then comes a time where there are some slacking, there are some probably not contributing and whatnot. So that is something that you want to make sure you are dealing with it early on. Second, make sure that you have these early on discussions on the roles and responsibility as to say who is looking after the overall strategy for the startup, who is looking for the product, technology, sales angle, and maybe operations sometimes even. So the reason why it is super important for you to be able to discuss this early on is you want to, once you start your startup and you have your team, you just want to be focusing on execution, strategizing, and then providing the value to your customers and investors, rather than thinking about day-to-day basis on, am I saying the right things? Is my co-founder or co-founders providing the right value to me? That is something that you want to avoid. The last thing is, there are things definitely that you want to avoid, which is to say, don't start a company without really discussing and thinking through on who is supposed to do what. You might think we'll go figure it out in time, but what happens is as the time goes by and then when there is a lot of work that is coming in, because of course clearly you are growing as a team as well, then you will figure out that multiple people want to do the same thing and then come in. So make sure that you are really discussing about who is doing what before you actually even start the company. Number two, don't let the co-founder or couple of co-founders drag your progress. Again, in time, everybody needs to chip in, everybody needs to work together as a team. And it may happen, and it will happen sometimes, that there are some co-founders who are probably not working as much, or inefficiencies come in. I'm using the word inefficiencies because that is really up to you on what you discussed with the co-founder as to say what you want to bring in. That's exactly the reason why you need to have an open discussion with them and then make sure that you are bringing the team together and you have the right situations and conditions to move forward. Hope this really helps, and you guys have fun and go execute and really provide the value to your customers. Thank you.